I had low expectations going into Tron Ares, and I was not surprised when the film failed to meet them. It's 2025 after all, disappointment is really the only thing any of us can expect out of modern Disney. Given the current times, a movie following an AI that wants to be human and come into our world is exactly the kind of story people could use right about now. A deep introspection on the nature of AI, what it means to be human, both good and bad, while answering questions both entities struggle with. But instead, we get meandering CGI spectacle for the sake of spectacle. Devoid of any compelling characters, stuffed with stale expository dialogue, and a plot relying heavily on convenience with a large helping of Girl Boss Supreme. They had a glimmer of a good idea but failed to develop or execute it properly. I'll go over the plot quickly, there is not much here, and yeah, I'm spoiling the shit out of this, so consider yourself warned. The story centers on two competing Silicon Valley software corporations looking to find the downloadable MacGuffin that allows them to permanently 3D print whatever they want from their respective mainframes. Dillinger, headed by your stereotypical douchebro villain Jillian, wants to print armies, while Encom, headed by our girl boss extraordinaire Eve, wants to make the world a better place. And if the movie wasn't clear enough on who you should be rooting for, the subtle as a brick-to-the-face color scheme will guide you. So Jillian decides to hack Encom because in the first 10 minutes our girl boss is able to download MacGuffin EXE because of course she can. Wait, why did Jillian need to hack Encom servers to get information on a public figure? It's not like he went after MacGuffin EXE directly, he wanted intel on Eve to track her down. First, that information would have been on a personal computer, not a company mainframe. Second, that intel wouldn't help Ares track down Eve. Hack the telecom grid, FFA control, satellite... Oh wait, it's done as clunky setup for Ares going rogue. So Ares does a bit of cyberstalking, and once locating Eve, he and his number 2, Athena, our diverse girl boss who is allowed to show her face in a mask, are sent to capture her. They succeed before their timer runs out and Eve is teleported into the Dillinger grid to have MacGuffin EXE extracted from her, which she only has now in her memory because she destroyed her copy before being captured. So our girl boss is now also the girl who's the key to everything.
I mean, I'm smiling, but I am very fucking furious.
Fuck off, movie. So Ares goes rogue, saves Eve, and gets her out of the grid. But he's on a timer. Without MacGuffin EXE, he can only last for about 29 minutes, so it's a race to get it. Which turns out was hidden in an old server left by Flynn that is housed in a tribute office at Encom HQ. Wait, why the fuck did nobody check it, and why did they have to go into the middle of nowhere where a backup of that same server was, and they found it there?
What, are you retarded?
What the fuck is this script, man? Anyway, Ares is uploaded into the server and meets the walking ghost of Jeff Bridges, who gives him a copy of MacGuffin EXE. Oh, and while this is happening, Athena is sent after Eve and nearly managed to recapture her if it weren't for a conveniently timed sprinkler system that distracted her for a few moments while her timer ran out. Dear God, I'm almost done. Then Athena goes rogue, but more so in line with Jillian's directive to bring Eve back no matter the cost. This is what I mean by a wasted premise and shitty execution. Two constructs going rogue in their own way could have been a neat through line to follow, but alas, we get this movie. Oh, and she kills Jillian's mother.
Athena! You conspire against me!
So Athena goes back again with 3D printed super weapons, and Ares conveniently manages to get back into the real world just in the nick of time, but now he's a real boy. More flashy action scenes, a face-off between Athena and Ares, then Team Diversity at Encom managed to hack the Dillinger grid to take out everything. Then Ares fucks off while Eve goes to save the world, and Jillian uploads himself into his own grid to bait a sequel. And that's it. That's the plot for Tron Ares.
That is one big pile of shit.
What surprises me about this movie the most is how meaningless it is. The whole premise, in concept, is not bad, but at no point is it given the proper development or execution needed to make a compelling story or a meaningful point. AI is a total paradigm shift, and it rightly has a lot of people worried. What we need right now would be a deep, introspective look at this new technology because it's bringing up questions about our own existence and the meaning of what it means to be human. Instead, the movie delivers on none of that. It comes off like a propaganda piece that tells you why AI will never be human. I might be reaching on that one though, because I really can't take anything away from this film apart from, hey look, flashy lights! If I want cheap spectacle and hollow action, I know where the fucking strip club is. If you told me this movie was made by AI, I'd believe you. None of these characters come off as people, which again makes me think it's propaganda meant to highlight why AI will never replace humans. The dialogue is staler than the white bread villain. It comes off like two chatbots talking to each other with some notable bangers like, being human is hard. Care to elaborate more on that movie? Nah, why do that one? Hey look, flashy lights! Motivations make little to no sense and exist solely to justify whatever action is happening in a given moment. It's hinted that the reason Ares goes rogue is because he developed feelings for Eve, but that goes nowhere. It's modern day, remember? Can't have a woman accepting the affection of a man. She has to save the world and don't have time for that. But that wasn't Eve's goal. Her motivation for finding MacGuffin EXE is revealed via clunky expository dialogue and makes no fucking sense. Christ, she has the same motivation as Jake Skywalker. Once she found what she was looking for, she planned to do nothing with it. I guess it was their attempt to make the girl boss not a girl boss, and they failed miserably. I'm convinced Sora AI could have done a better job. The plot is a meandering mess, and this movie could have been a half an hour shorter. The ticking de-resolution timer is meant to create a sense of urgency, but at no point do the scenes feel urgent. Not when they have time for prolonged action scenes, stilted interactions, and failed attempts at humor. And the whole narrative is really convenient. Problems arise out of nowhere and are resolved just as quickly. However, that final scene with Ares and Athena held a glimmer of the direction the movie should have taken. Two AI constructs brought into the real world, given similar inputs but arriving at different conclusions at the nature of their existence and purpose, leading them into conflict. Through them, the writers can explore problems humans face on the daily. What is my purpose? Who or what am I? Tackle questions that need to be addressed, such as what does it mean to be a living being? Maybe highlight how the human experience isn't an all-encompassing thing and that experiences do vary, made even more complicated by choices informed by assumptions or a lack of understanding. The writers could show how our learning is no different than an AI's, a multitude of inputs and stimuli forming core experiences, and how we are both prone to similar errors in judgment. Perhaps delve into the concept of free will and individual choice. Yeah, that's asking too much from modern writers. Maybe they should learn to code.
Not a great plan.
Tron Ares is your typical modern-day slop. A meandering and pointless endeavor stuffed with one-dimensional characters, unnatural dialogue, and an absolute failure to deliver anything compelling or entertaining while serving up plenty of girl boss supreme. I don't see it turning a profit on its reported $180 million budget, and the projections and early tracking are painting a very sordid picture. Whatever hopes there were of this movie placating the box office until Avatar and Zootopia release, consider them dashed. Don't expect Tron to make a cameo like in the last movie either. All you really get is a bit of nostalgic key jangle towards the end of the second act. I promise you, dear viewer, you'll forget this movie 10 minutes after credits roll.